I've noticed something the last few weeks, and that is, and I think this is actually big news. For the last several years, or maybe last year, since we began this whole election cycle, Mitt Romney has always been over here in the top stories a lot. Which stands to reason because he's mentioned so much in the mainstream media. He's mentioned all the time. People know who he is. And if you poll the GOP, the majority of the GOP know who he is, see him as a Republican. They know who the hell he is, and they would even probably vote for him to some degree. Now, of course, over the years, Ron Paul's been completely ignored or maligned until recently. And even then, that he's kind of come kicking and screaming into the limelight. But if you notice over here under top stories, Ron Paul's third. He's going to move around a little bit. But I have seen him over here with Mitt Romney, Ron Paul, Mitt Romney, more than really anyone else the last few weeks. If he stays up here, the revolution has begun. Because what that means is his ideas, his policies will they have the ability to transform this country in truly fundamental ways. And if we come over here, we see a news story right here. It says Al Qaeda in Iraq says it was behind Baghdad blasts. So here we are with the looming prospect that Iraq could be spiraling out of control already. Was it a week after we fucking leave? Or a month? I don't remember when the hell it was. It was a few weeks ago. We left, supposedly. Now, when I say left, I'm going to put that in quotes. Which just goes to show you that Michael Schorer knows his shit. And that is, you can't force democracy on a nation. The nation has to want it for it to sustain, for it to survive. Of course, you and I both know it's not about democracy. It's about the dollar. In any of these nations that try to go to, was it the gold for oil stuff, or the dinar for oil, whatever it may be, and they want to make sure it's the dollar. That's what I believe it really comes down to behind the scenes. But the people that know that, they push the other stories about terrorism. So they want you to think it has to do with terrorists, nukes. It has nothing to do with any of that. They just want to keep these certain nations, these oil nations, under their thumb. They want to make sure they do not ever get rid of the dollar in the oil sales. So, and here's some breast implant stuff that I accidentally just clicked on. So it's really interesting here, though, saying this because it's absolutely ginormous in terms of what this means for Paul. Now, of course, when you click on it, you're going to get some combination of both positive and negative reports or articles, but that's fine. That's a part of it. And so, obviously, right now we have a real problem. Ron Paul, he's getting the Fox News fuck you. Okay? I don't watch Fox News anymore. I try to avoid Fox News. So I see stuff online, Mediaite, and then there was another video. I swear this is unbelievable. Some of this stuff. Someone actually took the time out on Christmas Day to do a propaganda piece against Ron Paul. I mean, in terms of, it was a guy recording his wife opening up a gift supposedly, and supposedly she got a book from Ron Paul. I guess it was Liberty Defined. Of course, the moment the video starts, she's got the book open to the page, and she says, "What is it?" He calls Israel an apartheid state, and then a couple minutes later, she's crying. Like, what the? It was totally staged. And in the book, I don't think he never actually says that phrase, apartheid state. And so it turns out we investigated it. They both went to a college, a journalism college together. I forget, they were neocons. So it was bullshit. So, because I thought what I would do is maybe make my own video of me reading, I don't know, I guess Mitt Romney's book about what we're going to do with Iran. He's going to kill them all. Start crying. So it's really getting serious, but Ron Paul is surging, and this is absolutely huge right here to see.